Living like a Stae. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dream. Living like a Stae. Hey, hey. Living like a Stae. Hey, hey. Living like a Stae. Hey, hey. Living like a Stae. Hey, hey.
Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. And welcome to another episode of Living Life with your girl, Stae. And also, y'all know we are still in the thick of it, March Madness. So we have been doing this thing steady every day for, I don't even know how many days now, but I am super excited about it. I think it has gone well. It's really given me an opportunity to get to know the L.Y.F.E tribe a little bit better. We've been interacting with each other, chitting and chatting. Last night was so much fun with Ask Stae. That was really fun. I think I might do that like maybe once a month because that was so much fun. I really appreciated everybody who tuned in for that last night. And so y'all know I'm not going to assume everybody here knows me all the time. So I'm your girl, Stae. I'm a certified soft skills and emotional intelligence trainer and coach. I am a life coach, L.Y.F.E, love yourself first explicitly. I'm a published author, a mom, a maymay, a wife, and all the things. So I'm your girl, Stae. And on our platform with the L.Y.F.E tribe, we are here to uplift, motivate, and give the people the skills and tools that they need to reach their highest level of success. So today is really exciting for me because I have guests often, but this guest is super special. Y'all really looked out for her the other day, and so I felt it only appropriate to bring her on so y'all could see her face, learn more about her project, and everything she has going on. And she is none other than my little sister, Margot H. Towner, the author. And she is going to talk about her debut project. And you know how it goes, wherever else the conversation happens to lead us. So without further ado, here's Margot.
Hey.
Thank you for taking time out of your Friday to join me in the L.Y.F.E tribe. I'm so excited for everything you have going on and your new project. And I just really thought it was neat, you know, when I was talking about it the other day and you were kind of in the comments, the L.Y.F.E tribe seemed to be really excited about what you have going on and supportive of the project. And I'm like, I talk about you often in my blogs. I'm like, well, my sister, whatever, and then talk about that. But I'm like, no one's ever seen you before. So first of all, I need them to know proof of life. She really
but
does.
I'm real. I'm real.
And just for them to be able to put a face with the name and the project, because what you have going on is definitely like just amazing, and it will help to serve so many people. So first of all, the question I ask everyone, and not really a question, but just tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Margot H. Towner?
Well, I am Margot H. Towner. I'm Stae's younger sister. I am a mother. I've been married almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years next February. I have a 17-year-old son. He just turned 17, yesterday? 2 days ago? The 27th? Yeah, 2 days ago. Same day as Nunny Butters.
Both of our sons have the same birthday, twin cousins.
I was just thinking about that. Well, of course, the other day on his birthday, I remember calling Nunny and saying, "Is it okay if I have my baby on your birthday?" Because I had to go in for a C-section. And I said, "Is it okay?" And he was 5 and he was like, "Yes, it's okay." He was so excited. But yeah, that's my son, 17 years old. Nonverbal, very active. You might hear him come in while we're on this call now. I asked my husband, "Could you please keep him in the front for a while?" Because it's like he wants to know what I'm doing at all times.
Oh,
But
he's very nosy.
yeah. But that's pretty much it. I'm just a mom and a wife and just trying to get into this children's book writing. I wanted to this summer. I started to feel a little. Donovan has, I would say, probably about 5 years left of school, and it kind of made me feel a bit depressed because I was getting to the point where we have to start making decisions about his future. And it just made me, I just fell into a little bit of a depression, and I wanted to do something to sort of get my mind off of those things. And also, I wanted to start celebrating Donovan out loud. I had really never done that. I had kind of, as you know, kept him to our family and my close circle. So I wanted to do something to preoccupy my mind and also start to celebrate him out loud. So that's why I was with him.
To the chat for a second, and then I'm going to take off my sister hat and put on my life coaching hat because you said something that always triggers me with my coaching clients. But first of all, hey, Cece. Hey, Deborah. Thank y'all so much for being here. Hey, Tori. Yes, Cece, she really is real. She's real. Oh, Cece saying congratulations on your 20 years.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. You know that. So I want to thank you for telling us a little bit more about you. But what I heard and what one of the trigger things for me is a client is once you said all those things, you were like, so I'm just a wife and a mom. We have to stop saying stuff like just and little, like my little business, or I'm just a wife and a mom, or I'm just a teacher, or just, that's major. All of us have a purpose, and it's not just like I am a wife and a mom. I'm a fantastic wife and a mom. Like that's what you do. Just is our way of, to me, sometimes making other people feel comfortable or just not wanting to shine. And the thing is, you say that, but you don't really think that when you talking to me, you don't mind telling me that you the bomb mom and what you do for Donovan because you're comfortable. So be comfortable with everybody. You are a wife and a mom. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm a fabulous wife and a mom, because
it is weird because it is like when I said it, it was like, I'm just a wife and a mom. And then as soon as I saw your face, I'm like, oh.
See, I thought I was getting better with my facial expressions.
No, not with me especially. No.
My bad. Hey, Trish, how are you? Oh, Trish the Natural said her brother was autistic and he was also nonverbal. And that's what I love about, this community. We find so much out about one another and just building that tribe. Like I kept saying yesterday, it takes a village and sometimes people who can just relate to your situation. Cece said, facts, Stae. I caught that too. We are more than that. Yes, we are definitely it. We're not just anything. Our businesses ain't little. Whatever it is, ain't a hobby. We doing our thing. Hey, Lacey J, I saw your video today. Congratulations on the short film. Y'all make sure you follow Lacey J along with Cece and Trish and everybody else who is in the chat. But y'all got to watch Lacey J's. I think it was a premiere, but I was at, of course, a Women's History Month event. So now my count for events is probably up to 14.6 million for the month on Women's History events. But I did catch it when I got home. And so we're here today to talk about you, your life, and the things you have going on. But the big thing is your debut release, your first literary work, your first published work. Why is everything so loud? That's okay, girl. A lot of people's computer do that, CC. I get star in my text and everything. No need to apologize. I know who you're talking to. But why is everything so loud? And so, first of all, I want you just to tell us a little bit about why is everything so loud. You don't have to give it all away because I want everybody to download the book, buy the book, but just give us like an overview of what that story is, and then kind of what your inspiration was for not writing just a book about you or Donovan, but wanting to write a children's book.
Okay, well, why is everything so loud is about a little boy named Jaxon who has autism and is dealing with some sensory issues. And the thing about this book is that I wanted to really show Jaxon going to his family with these issues and them being understanding and trying to come up with a solution. And Donovan has those same sensory issues. The sound noise just becomes overwhelming to him and he wants to hide. Donovan started going through these sensory issues, I would say about around the age of 12. He came home, it seemed like to happen just all of a sudden. He would come home and he would have a towel wrapped around his head. And because he was nonverbal, we really didn't know what was going on. He would just keep his towel wrapped around his head, almost like Fred Sanford, like when he had the toothache, like he just would, and the tighter, the better. And when we would take the towel, because we weren't sure what was going on, he would grab sheets, he would grab the comforter on his bed, anything. And so after a while,
jacket y'all still can't find. Mm-hmm. You did replace it though. I said, in my jean jacket that y'all still can't.
Well, I gave you mine when we found it.
I just want to tell the people.
Right. So it was just the sound. And once we started to realize what was going on, because I thought that he was having pain somewhere. Once we found out what was going on, we started to get him headphones, and now you will never see Donovan without his headphones at all. And I just really thought I wanted to share his story or share that story. And I also I thought it was important that I shared someone that looked like us. Because a lot of times in the autistic community, when you see anything on TV about autism, you really don't see children that look like us. And it's 1 in 36 children have autism, and the numbers are growing. I remember when Donovan was diagnosed with autism, it was 1 in 88.
Wow.
So that was just 17 years ago, and it's 1 in 36 now. And I wanted to, and that's something that I'm seeing in my reviews, that people are saying, thank you, for showing that this affects our community as well. So this is something that I just really I can't wait until Monday when the book, the ebook is live now, but I can't wait until the book is live. And I'm already thinking of what I want my next book to be. I have so many stories that I want to tell. I want to go ahead and start speaking of the autistic children that are nonverbal, because you really don't see those children. You see everyone, when you say autism, they think of Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory or Rain Man or something like that. They don't really see because Donovan is level 3 autistic. He will need to be cared for the rest of his life. And it's almost like, I don't want to say the ugly side, because it's not ugly, but it's the more serious side that nobody really wants to talk about. And I want to start showing that.
That's awesome. Let me see. We got some comments. So Cece says she read it and left a review. Thank you so much,
Cece.
I appreciate you. And Cece lives here in Texas. You can see by her name, Cece's Texas Garden. So I'm going to have to meet up with with Cece one day soon. She says she's seeing kids with their jackets around their head. That explains it. Thank you. And Deborah said, I worked in an autistic clinic in Austin. Yes, I hear that Austin does a lot of great things when it comes to taking care of our special needs children. I have a friend who also has a special needs child, different types of things, not necessarily just the autism, but she actually left Dallas-Fort Worth, left her job and everything to take him to Austin to go to a school there. So I wonder if it was even the same place or if they're familiar. But yeah, I hear Austin does a lot of things. I'm always trying to get them to move to Texas. But my brother-in-law, Margot's husband, he does work that is specific where he needs to be by a body of water. He needs to be by an ocean. He works on Navy ships. He is retired Navy, so he is a veteran. And also Donovan's paternal grandparents who are very involved in his life are there in Alabama as well. So me trying
I thought you were getting ready to say also Donovan's father. I'm like, yes, he is.
Yeah, Donovan's father and her husband is the same. And my brother.
Same person.
All one person. But yeah, so I'm always trying to get them to come here. But with that being said, so you did mention you're already thinking about the next thing that you want to write. So as you're thinking about what you want to write, with Jaxon being the main, is Jaxon always going to be the main character? Or are you going to bring other kids in it? Is everything going to be focused on autistic kids? Is it going to be other type of special needs kids? Or are you going to bring regular needs kids, as I like to call the other kids, because all these kids is needs. So what is that going to look like as it grows?
Well, because I have such a passion and my life is autism, that's probably what's going to be my main focus. But I also would like to address the siblings of these children as well. There's a specific name, and I can't think of it now, of, I think, the crystal child. I can't think of the name of it, of the sibling that doesn't have the special needs, and how they maybe feel left out, or that their parents pay so much attention to the other child that they're not, getting the attention paid to them. And I think it's Crystal Child. I don't know. I really want to address them as well. You know what I mean? Because it's a big ask. A lot of times, like, those children don't get to do things because their parents are spending a lot of time with their special needs child, as far as like going to therapy and things like that. So I think down the line, as this grows, I'm just going to put that out there so you don't say anything. I'm not going to say just this book. So as this grows, I may go ahead and get into the other, special needs children. But right now I'm just focused on autism in that family, because that's really what, like, I can say that I specialize in, how the family dynamic and how autism affects the family. Like I said, I'm an expert at that.
How you said specialize in, because it's hey, Frederick, that is my brother-in-law, Frederick. We got Margot H. Towner and Frederick L. Towner in the house. So I love the fact that you said that is what did you say expert? What did you say?
I'm an expert and I specialize in.
Okay, expert and specialized.
So all the words.
This is a little bit off topic, but still same topic, because again, y'all know how my brain thinks when I hear certain words. I love that you use those words specialize and expert in, because it's not like you went to Autism University. It's not like you have autism, whisperer certification. But I love when you use those words, which is completely opposite of you saying just a mom to I'm an expert and specialize in, which that's how we need to speak, because our life experiences make us experts and make us specialists in whatever it is that we're dealing with on a regular basis. And so definitely feel free for all of us to use those kind of things. I'm an expert. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you it's okay and what you need to go through in order to be considered that, because living every day in life, whatever it is you're dealing with, especially if you're passionate about, and of course, with that being your son, you're going to be passionate about it and give it your all.
Right.
That makes you an expert. It doesn't mean you know everything. It doesn't mean that you can't continue to grow. And you weren't an expert the day Donovan was diagnosed, but through 17 years, well, not quite 17 years, and that's a whole different ball of wax that I wanted to talk about, because I know we're of the same beliefs with that. Donovan has not been autistic for 17 years, but for however long he's been autistic, you have done the work, which makes you an expert. The question that was actually on my mind, though, you mentioned the siblings, and I tried to Google it, and it's not saying what the siblings are called. It's just saying that they usually grow up to be very compassionate and empathetic.
I heard of it, and I say this so often. I saw it on TikTok, but it's a certain, I want to say crystal child or something, but they feel neglected, and a lot of children.
Child sounds familiar to me, so maybe I'll just use that term the next time.
And a lot of them may feel resentful of their sibling, their special needs sibling, and I know what I'm going through. I'm sorry. Ask your question before I go on.
No. I kind of just going back and forth with the comments. Deborah said, unfortunately, that the autistic or autism clinic that she worked in closed. The owner was Oprah Winfrey's first cousin. Wow, I had no idea. Okay, and Cece just responded, and then Fred. No, that was it. It was along the same lines. What I was going to ask is, so the book that you have now, you say that that's a book, I guess, that you want to write in the future that is completely like dedicated to those children or is speaking directly to those children. But with the book you have now, who would you say that this book is for?
This book is for, I would say, parents, because I wanted to make sure, because when Jaxon, he's struggling with this because he doesn't want to, he already feels a bit different at school around the kids. And now he's dealing with the sensory issues that he's trying his best to hide. But he was struggling with it, and he decided, I have to go and talk to my family about this. And he actually went to his father, which it was important to me for him to go to his father. A lot of times mom does everything. So it was important to me to have dad there, telling him we're going to figure this out. So it was just, I would say, just the family as a whole, they came together and came with a solution to his issue. They got on the laptop.
Which is not always a laptop, y'all. That's why she laughing when she was going through the process. She would run some things by me, and she had mom. What was she getting on? Just a computer or
just a computer? I'm
like, computer.
Her desktop.
Old school. Don't nobody call it a computer.
Her Macintosh. She got on her Macintosh. The whole PC, and but they figured it out, and it changed everything for him. Now down the road, Jaxon will have other, tribulations and things that he's going to have to, they're going to have to figure out as a family. But that was one that they were able to go ahead and research and find a solution.
Cool. We got some people on.
Glass Child. Fred just texted me and said it's Glass Child.
Glass Child. Okay. I like Crystal better, but that's fine. But I get a Glass Child, like you're seeing right through them.
Oh, baby, thank you.
Savannah, thank you for tuning in. Preston, hey, Margaret, you remember Preston from high school? Preston Smith. He said, hey.
Preston.
Yeah, he's on here. And let me see. It's Fred. And hey, Miss Gwen, thank you so much for tuning in. And just to let y'all know, anybody who's over there in Facebook world, I am streaming mainly to YouTube and Facebook, and don't always play nice together. So if you want to make sure I see your comments, or if you want to, be more a part of the conversation in real time, you can just hop over to YouTube and just put in the @ and Stae Hall. subscribe to the channel, and then you can join the chat and watch over there. It just makes it a little easier. But you can also feel free to stay on Facebook. That works as well. I just like to put it out there because I don't want anybody to think I'm ignoring them, because they don't always bring the comments over here, and they definitely don't show me who's watching over there unless you comment. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is you were able to go ahead.
Can I make my point about the glass child?
Yeah.
And the children being resentful. I come across a lot of parents who are saying, I lost my light, who are saying that when their child is older, that they want their sibling to have, their special needs child live with them. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm losing my light.
Can your producer bring in some light? Oh no, your producer is now with his son. So he said, my job is done here.
Otherwise,
I want to see the reason for the book live and in color.
I got it. But
games.
Okay, you're gonna lose me for a second. But they're wanting their child to live with their sibling, and I understand that. But I just think that that's a big ask for that, and that causes probably some of the resentment too. Hold on, Stae, you're gonna lose me for a second. I got it.
There's always technical difficulty. It's not a big deal at all. We used to it on these YouTube streets.
I'm sorry, my producer is fixing it up now for me.
Oh, well, where's the producers?
I don't know. He may make it. Oh, okay. That's too much light.
Better. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting darker and darker and darker. So, okay, that's cool. So go ahead. So you were saying, I don't know if you remember because you had a lot going on, but you were saying.
Oh, that could cause a lot of resentment too, because like Donovan's last year of school, he'll be 20. He's able to stay in school until he's 21. Okay. And a lot of times at 22, a lot of parents are looking for their child possibly to be placed in a group home. Okay. But if there's no group home available, they depend on their sibling to go ahead and take them in, like, as they get older. And that can cause like a lot of resentment, which like, I understand that's something that, may have to happen in a lot of situations, but just talking about the glass child, like that can cause a lot of resentment too.
So with Donovan being your only child and you're not, you really don't know anything different, but I still want to ask, how do you feel it may have been different if you would have had another child in the household? Do you feel like that may have alleviated some of your work or stress, or do you think it may have made it even more difficult because you're dealing with two completely different children? Because, all of our kids are different, but that is a huge difference when you have a child who's maybe go involved in this, whatever, and then another child who, like Donovan, for a long time really didn't like to be out with people and doing all the things. He's getting so much better with that now, but right. I'm sure it's something. Hey, Amanda, thank you so much for being here. That's my sister, Amanda. So I'm sure you've thought about it though before. Yeah. So what do you think that dynamic would have been like for you, as much as you can, imagine it?
I don't know. I remember when Donovan was 5 years old that I regretted not having another child. And I remember that a lot of, before we knew he was autistic, a lot of people said, oh, Donovan needs a sibling. He can't just be the only one. You have to give him a sibling. So I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me that's like almost glad that I didn't have another child, because I don't think I would have been able to give them the attention that they deserved.
So you
I really don't.
It would have just been, mainly because of his needs. Yeah.
Right. Because it's so much, you know what I mean? So I don't think that I would have been able to give another child the attention that they deserved. And I think it would have been like Fred just texted me, the glass child syndrome, and that wouldn't have been fair. But I understand that those things happen and families have to do what they have to do.
Let's see. Trish was weighing in on that. Trish said her and her older sister helped the most with her brother growing up, and the younger siblings assisted too. Yeah, and it is, whether no matter what the situation, it is what it is. And so, as a family, it's definitely, best case scenario that everybody steps in, and all you can do, I guess, is just hope and pray that nobody feels slighted and that everybody understands the situation. And I'm sure as you get older, it's probably easier, to take. But, as kids, I know even for me, with having 3 sons and they're so far apart in ages, I had to struggle with that sometimes because the oldest one seemed to be getting all the attention because he was involved in the most stuff, and having to make a point because my middle one, who is also, considered to be on the spectrum as far as Asperger's, but it was really easy to let him do his own thing because he didn't demand a lot of attention. So I had to make a point to check in with him because it was easy. He was doing his stuff. So I definitely see how that can be, something different. Something else I wanted to ask you is you were able to write this book from a perspective that you really didn't even have. Donovan, his autism was diagnosed pretty young, and he has, always been nonverbal. And so he wasn't able to come to you and tell you, hey, why is everything so loud, so to speak.
Right.
So how were you able to, put yourself in that and see it through the lens of having a child that was verbal but struggling? Where did you even get that whole concept from of the child being able to go to the parents in that way, being that was not your experience?
Well, Donovan goes to a special needs school. And I have come in contact with other parents because I didn't know what Donovan was feeling for a long time. So, and with me talking to other parents, with me just researching it, it's like, and they even have, I've seen videos that will show you what a child with autism feels like and what noises. Not every child with autism has this sensory disorder, but there's videos that will display like what a child, the noises, what they feel like to them, what the tag on the back of your clothes will feel like to them, and how, a lot of times you have to take the tags out, and how different food textures and things like that. So when you become a parent, well, what I did is I joined every group that I could, every Facebook group, every newsletter, every support. And I just, because I had to, because with Donovan being nonverbal, I did not understand how he was feeling at all. So I just took it from there and just put the story together.
Well, I love that because we talked about, when you mentioned being an expert or a specialist in this, but I still love the fact that you realize that your story still may be different from other people's, but the story still needed to be told, or the book needed to be written.
Right.
You still did your research, so to speak,
right,
because you knew that it could affect more than just Donovan's type of personality. And so I love that. Now, you mentioned, first of all, let me say hey, and there's another comment. I got to say hey to J3. J3 is in the house. Hey, J3, and thank you for saying hello to my sister. And thank you for being here. J3 is the honey slinger. J3 is a beekeeper and makes some awesome honey that I was able
wow.
to. And actually, J3, I drizzled a little of your honey on my watermelon today, and it was delightful. I was on the phone with my sister when Wallace was trying to steal my watermelon. Deborah said, my nephew moved his mom in with them so his wife could give his sister her one-on-one time. She's 2 years young. Wow. The family just pitching to do what they could do. I'm absolutely no help with Donovan. I try my best. I love to laugh and play with Donovan. But yeah, I cannot say I help as much as I can. I do good, right? No, but I saw you shaking your head. No.
No.
Yeah, she's shaking her head. No, but
You give me a lot of support, what I really appreciate, because a lot of times when Donovan is just being Donovan, you will get angry with me at Donovan, even though we know that means nothing. You know what I mean? But you were like, Donovan, he gets on my nerves, and I'm able to vent that out and then go back and, you know what I mean, deal with him like I, need to. But it's just fun.
For just being Donovan, because Donovan's my nephew. I love him. I know the things he does are not necessarily in his control, but I still maintain team sister. So when Donovan be giving her a hard time and acting like a complete whatever Donovan be acting like out of his mind, I be getting on him. I be like, you need to listen to your mama and sit your butt down. Trish said, I did not feel any kind of way. He was my little brother, so I felt as a big sister, it was a part of my responsibility too. We kind of accepted it. It did impact our household, though. Yeah, it has to, because it is. Yeah. It's different. And the thing that gets me the most, hey, Janet, thank you so much for tuning in. The thing that gets me the most as far as the disrupting the household, like when I am, because I spend as much time as I can with my nephew for sure. But what gets me with him is just the unpredictability, right? So it's like you constantly got to have your head on a swivel, because everything can seem just fine until it's not, and so it's like, and it seems like every time you kind of relax and like, okay, Donovan's good, he's occupied, and so you feel like you can stop looking, and then the next thing he's taking the plug and out the pool, and the whole yard is flooded.
That I was saying that the other day, Donovan plots and plans, and I was remembering, like, when you guys were here, I don't know if it was last July 4th or how long have you had Lux?
Just a year.
Yeah, well, last July. And remember when Donovan was like circling with the pillow, just walking around the couch, and he lulled us like in a state of just like, okay, everything's fine. And then as soon as we weren't paying attention, he just threw the pillow at Lex. I mean, why do I keep calling him Lex? Lux. And we're like, oh my gosh. But it's like, he planned that. Because a lot of people think that autistic children is like, okay, they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Now, a lot of times they don't have the impulse control not to do what they're going to do, but they're planning it. Donovan plots and plans all the time.
Well, yeah, I remember that year we were there for his birthday, and you had put his cake on top of the refrigerator. And there was nothing that was going to stop him from getting that cake. I mean, he plotted, he planned, he waited till, and then, yeah, he knew exactly where it was. And he was definitely on a mission.
He was determined. It's like, I'm not forgetting it. I'm not forgetting where you put that
So
cake.
We got a question for you, Margot. Janet says she got the book on her Kindle, but couldn't figure out how to give it a review. And she said, well, not the Kindle, but on the Kindle web. So either way, can you just explain to everybody how they can go about giving the book a review? And while it's said Lux remembers that incident, he remembers.
Oh, my bad, Lux. This time when you come, I'll make sure that the pillows are out of reach. But
so he's gonna hit him with something else. But anyway,
I'm not promising anything. Right. But if you go to the book on Amazon and you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. It'll say on that page, write a review. Because I know that when you download the book to your Kindle device, something pops up on that device, but I'm not sure how it does if you have the app. So what you want to do is just come out of that, go to the initial page, go all the way down, and it'll say write a review. And I'd appreciate it, because those reviews, Amazon will see those reviews and say, hey, well, people really seem to like this book. And so they'll put it on the first page. And that's what I really want to happen, especially in April. I want as many people who can to see that book, because I think it's really important. And like I said,
April. Why especially in April? Because everybody might not know why.
Oh, I'm sorry, because it's April is Autism Awareness Month. So I really want, I want, people who have autistic children that might be going through this, or kids that are just in school, because I think I saw a review that someone said on my page, someone said that their son actually had read the book, and he has people in his class that wear headphones, and he always wondered why. And now he knows. So I was like, okay, that's exactly what I wrote the book for.
So you mentioned earlier, and you just, it kind of triggered my memory just now when you said people in his class. So you mentioned that Donovan goes to a special needs school. And
Yes.
So just explain a little bit about, like, I guess it's self-explanatory what that means. So all the students and the children, all the children in the school are special needs, but what does that mean specifically for Donovan or all of the children? Autistic, is it different special needs? Like, what does that whole, experience look like for Donovan in the school?
Well, all of the children, when I say special needs, they all have some sort of intellectual disability. And they have it, like right now, Donovan is in 11th grade. But he's in 11th grade, but his class is full of children of pretty much not all ages, but he's 17, but he could have someone in the class that may be 15 or 14. It's at the intellectual level, that's how they set the classes up. So I'm not sure. It goes from grade preschool to a senior. And like I said, he can stay in the school until he's 21.
Okay. And so with that experience with Donovan, I mean, what has his personal experience been, and what is it that makes you comfortable with that school? How was his introduction to that school? Again, I know a lot about the story, but for people who don't, I really, would just love for you to, just tell them what his individual experience was from when he came to the school.
From school?
From school.
Okay.
How was it from the beginning? And why is he still there? Like, what makes you feel comfortable about that school?
Well, Donovan, we moved here. Donovan has been in school since he was 2, which is crazy when you think about it. Donovan, when we first moved here, his school, they didn't have special needs classes per se. They had him in a preschool class. And that's where there were like maybe 5 children that were special needs, and the rest of the kids were, to use your words, regular needs. But Donovan was the only child that was nonverbal. So that, brought a lot of challenges for us, and they really weren't able to deal with him a lot. There was a teacher in the class and an aide. So there would be a lot of times where I would take him to school and they would say, we don't have anyone to be with him, because Donovan really needed someone to just watch out for him, like a one-on-one per se. And they said, we just don't have it today. So a lot of times I would just take him home and he just wouldn't go to school. And one day I took him to school, and his teacher, the aide actually came to me, the aide for the class, and said, hey, today we're going to have a bunch of students. He was like 4. Today we're going to have a bunch of student teachers in the class with us. Just wanted to let you know. So I said, okay, cool. That should be nice, So later on that day, I went to pick him up, and I'm sitting in the park. I didn't go in the parking lot, because a lot of times with the buses, it was hard to leave. So I would park on the street. So you have the school here, you have their parking lot, and then the street. So I'm there. So I see the aide come out with a few kids. She brought them out. I see Donovan look at me. We make eye contact, but she doesn't see me. And, I see Donovan sort of squirming. She doesn't see me. She goes back in. And I think to myself, like, okay, well, her next trip out, I'll do something like wave my hand and she'll see me. So I go back to, I don't know. I'm trying to think if Facebook, Facebook was out then. I guess I'm aging myself. I don't know. But I was doing something like maybe looking at my phone or a magazine, and out my peripheral vision, I see something and I look over and it's Donovan. Donovan has run out the school to my car. So of course, that caused a big problem. I wanted to see the principal immediately. We had an emergency IEP meeting. At that point, it was decided he needed to have an aide. So we got the aide, Miss Coates, who we love, who has been a part of our family since he was in the 4th grade. He graduated from the elementary school, and luckily, Miss Coates was able to come with him to the school he is currently. And the reason I feel so comfortable is because I would trust Miss Coates with, she adores and loves Donovan. But she is no longer his aide now. She's a teacher. But the rest of the school, it's just, I fell in love with them. Every teacher, they just have a love and patience for these children. So it really was a good fit. And I really wish that I had known and found out about this school when he was a lot, like when he was 2, when he first started school. But I'm just so thankful that I did. And I will forever be thankful for Miss Coates for making that transition so easy for him.
Yeah, Miss Coates has been a godsend with the family for Donovan. She's become part of the family, and the fact that she's there, even though, the school is great and you've had a great experience, having Miss Coates there is just that little extra layer of, and that's the thing too. If Donovan's aide can't be there, or if Donovan just ain't feeling it that day, everybody in the school know to go get Miss Coates.
Right.
Miss Coates.
I kind of feel bad for her sometimes because she is like, even though Fred thinks he is, she actually is the Donovan whisperer. And I feel bad, like, because when they're like, oh, he had, like, if they bring him to the corner, like, he didn't really have a good day. I'm like, oh man, I know Miss Coates had to come and get him. And I just feel bad because I'm like, she's a teacher now, but she loves Donovan. So I'm sure she'll, she drops everything for her boo.
Let's see. We got a couple of comments. Hey, Kenneth, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for being here, Tim. I appreciate you as well. Oh, and thank you, Tim, giving y'all that reminder to smack those thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I do forget to say that. And sometimes I'm guilty myself. I know, like I say all the time, when we're on TikTok, Facebook, it's just the automatic Instagram to like it. But when we're watching this long form content, we don't always think about it. There's only one Donovan whisperer. As you can see, my husband and my sister's husband have very similar personalities, and they don't mind trolling in the comments.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do, and making sure they get their credit for everything. We say it all the time. Our husbands are, oh my gosh, they are so similar. Okay, yeah. I had another question in my mind, and what was it? We talked about school. Okay, so yes, so you had that issue with the school. I remember that day, when Donovan ran out and you were frantic because it was one of those things that even though it worked out fine. He says it again. He wants us to know there's only one Donovan whisperer. Oh my gosh, they are so similar.
And Donovan is giggling down the hall, almost like he's like, yeah, tell him. Like, okay.
But I remember that day, and that was one of those things where it worked out okay. And Donovan, yes, Wallace be trolling Tim. He does. Donovan made it to his mom's car. But like she said, she was looking down at the time, not even really paying attention. He just happened to come to the right car. But it was one of those situations. But what if he didn't? He just would have been out there running, and so made that change. And then you also mentioned the IEP meetings. Is it IEP? I don't remember. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what I wanted to ask you is for any parents out there who maybe have a child with special needs, or maybe they're not even sure, but they just notice something seems like it may be a little off or whatever, what would you suggest their first step be as an advocate for your child if you feel like maybe you're the only one who's noticing it, or you don't feel like they're getting the support they need? You mentioned IEP, like exactly what is that? And I know it's a whole, it's not anything that you can really explain in one sitting, but as easily as you can, just what is that and how do you get that process going?
Okay, an IEP is an individualized education plan. So it's just, and I'm sitting here and I'm actually looking at his IEP. he gets a new IEP every year, and it's just goals and benchmarks that they set for him every year. Donovan's 17, but the standard test for other 17-year-olds, he's not going to be able to meet. So they have specific benchmarks for him. Like by the end, I'm reading this right off his IEP. By the end of the IEP term, Donovan, with support and with limited choices, will be able to identify and purpose, instruct, to entertain, to inform, to persuade. Let me see.
Have you read his IEP before, Mom?
Yes, but this is a new one. 4 to 5 opportunities. So it's like they will present. So let's say, I'm going to explain it this way because I did stumble over that. Don't do that.
You like, now what they say? No, it say like.
Yeah. Did I also tell you? Okay, but wait a minute. Off the subject. Did I tell you that I have been prescribed progressive bifocals?
Oh my gosh, no, you did, because I talked about.
So that's what it is. I'm looking and the words are swimming, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I said right there. But okay, so let's say your child reading comprehension. They give them something to read, and then they have questions that they have to answer. Donovan's not going to have that. So it's going to be, okay, let's say this story is about a cow. Donovan's not going to be able to answer those questions about the cow, but they will give him a picture of a cow, a picture of a brown cow, a purple cow, a pink cow, and they'll tell him, Donovan, pick the purple cow. That's how they have to break it down for him to be able to go ahead and pass that test. So it's just for him. And everyone's IEP is different based on their skill level. So he's had an IEP in place since he was, I would say, it didn't start when he was in preschool. So like around 3rd grade, they started to do the IEP, and we go up at least twice a year and discuss his benchmarks and if they need to be moved either way. And there's also certain things like, for instance, if Donovan needs to be taken to another room to do his testing, that has to be done. And if a test comes up and he's not taken out of the room and he does poorly, they will say, well, did you follow that IEP? The IEP always has to be followed. That's why it always has to be updated once a year.
Janet was saying some kids have goals for academics, some have goals for behaviors,
right?
Speech, OT, or PT. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, just to make sure that your child is getting, the fair treatment that is going to be something where they can really have those achievable goals, rather than just throwing them in with all the kids and just saying, oh, well, you have to do this. It has to be something that is going to be fair for them. And Fred was saying skills benchmark. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So you mentioned April being Autistic Awareness Month. You fostered 2 kids with IEPs. Okay. Well, thank you for that, because that is much needed as well, Janet. That is awesome. I mean, people who take kids in, and especially if it's kids with special needs, like we discussed, being the natural parent of someone with special needs is a huge undertaking. It takes a lot. And so to do it when you don't even have to, for lack of a better phrase, that's really awesome. So hats off to you. Janet. I really appreciate the work that you do for our children.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned April being Autism Awareness Month, but
Right.
April is a big month for Donovan, period. He just came off of his big 17th birthday day before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So now he is a junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, isn't that a junior? A junior in high school. So share with the people what Donovan has, because he has two, I know for a fact, major events going on in April.
First, he's going to the prom, child. I am so excited about this prom. I'm almost ready to go and show the people his tuxedo, but I'm not.
Well, I will have plenty of pictures, and it will be
I'm not.
Y'all.
I'm not, but he is going to the prom, and we're doing it big for the prom. We're all going to the prom. Stae is going to be at the prom. Wallace is going to the prom. My husband, we're all going to the prom. It was so funny today when we were on the phone. How are you getting your hair done for the prom? I'm like,
yeah, we're excited about the prom. I ain't playing no games.
This is what I talked to his principal.
We got our colors and everything. Do you want to share the colors with the people, or you want it to be a surprise when we vlog it?
No, it doesn't have to be. It's still going. You think it's still going to be a surprise, even though it's the color. It's going to be. It's navy and fuchsia, and that's his colors. And the other day, I was in the car with Fred, and I was thinking, we're like, okay, what kind of shoes are we going to get him? And I said, well, because I've always liked white Air Force Ones. Like, I've always loved Air Force Ones. And Fred was like, okay. And the next thing that happened is that the DJ on the radio, that's crazy enough, the DJ on the radio said, yeah, she said that Nike made an announcement that they are going to start selling Air Force Ones at a discount rate because nobody's wearing them. And I'm like,
go buy them up, because Donovan's hard on shoes, ain't he?
Very hard on shoes.
Yeah, so go buy them up then.
Like, nobody's wearing Air Force Ones. So I actually called Ian, and I'm like, Ian, no one's wearing Air Force Ones. Like, I don't want to.
They don't know who Ian is. That would be
see, I was trying to, you know what I mean? So I'm like, they don't wear
Nutty Butters.
I'm like, they don't wear Air Force Ones. He was like, well, yeah, I wear Air Force Ones. I'm like, because I know Jay-Z and Nelly. He was like, no, nobody is listening to Nelly.
Well, look, so Wallace says, this is our husbands, y'all. So Wallace says, I'm rocking the baby blue tux with tails and ruffles to the prom. But then Fred says, bro, that's what I'm wearing. See, that's the kind of stuff that's what we deal with right there. That's what we deal with right there. But the funny part about it is Fred and Wallace's birthday is only like a week apart. And so I had a big 50th birthday party for Wallace, and Fred surprised him and came to the 50th birthday. And y'all, why were they almost dressed exactly alike at Wallace's birthday? So funny. Yeah, it's exciting. I am super excited. I cannot wait. And so he has the prom in April, but what else does he have in April?
Oh, he has a Special Olympics on the 12th.
Yes.
Which I hope
and what is his competition for Special Olympics? What is he going to be doing?
We'll see. Because
hey, Nick. Hey, thank you for tuning in. We'll see. Oh, so you don't have to already sign him up for a competition? Because what did he do last time? The 100-yard dash or whatever, or the 100-yard stroll?
It was nobody. Because it was so funny because the other kids were running, and he walked very briskly, but he would not. Now I think that he probably will run. Well, he'll probably because he likes to, you know what I mean, jump, you know, back and forth and everything. So I think there's a good chance I may be able to get some footage of him running. But yeah, I'm excited because
Donovan was totally unbothered by that race.
And the towel, remember the towel that he had over his head, and I had it match his outfit.
Yes, Donovan, now the towels got to be coordinated. And then we had, kind of made a family decision that we was going to get him some Gatorade towels. So whenever he out, and about, people just think he just got off the hoop court. Like they have no idea. He just a little overheated. Yeah, we be trying to
But
keep
the thing is that, and I always try to give him the Gatorade towel, but the Gatorade towels, they're not long enough for him. He wants his towels to have some hang time. He wants them to wrap around him. Like I said, the Fred Sanford thing. He wants it to wrap around.
Janet was asking, do they have practice for the Special Olympics in your area? Do they practice or they just show up that day?
They just show up that day. And when I tell you, some of those kids are fast. Some of those kids, when they do the relays and stuff, they are fast. So yeah, Donovan is just not one of them.
She was saying her friend's daughter does swimming in the Special Olympics and they practice. Oh, J3 said he enjoys the conversation he has with his special needs nephew as well. Yeah, I mean, they're a trip. Donovan, he cracks me up all the time. Oh, she's in Seattle.
Well, so you hate to say that he's nonverbal because he does have words.
I wasn't even going to mention that in this. I thought it might be controversial, but yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad you brought it up. So y'all know I have my own way of seeing things and I don't mind talking about it, but sometimes it bothers people. Like some people might be offended by the fact that I call my kids regular needs. Like it's no shade. I don't think any of it's funny, any of that. And, I'm a huge advocate for special needs kids, special needs person. And when I say my kids are regular needs, like I really mean that. I be telling her all the time because my kids, they're not perfect and they have their own little individual issues. And so I mean that when I say that. And so I also take a little bit of issue with Donovan being considered nonverbal because to me, when I hear nonverbal, I feel like that's somebody who just does not talk at all. And I know there are people like that, and those people are nonverbal. In my opinion, Donovan is considered non-conversational. I don't even know if that's a thing. I made it up, but Donovan will say what Donovan wants to say at times, and it's not going to be necessarily a full sentence, but you can understand what he wants. And then Donovan also has his own little language where after a while you pay attention and you know it. Like I know wallaby is his headphones. That's what he says. That's his language. That's not nonverbal to me because if he says wallaby over and over again and he means the same thing every time, he's being verbal. He's communicating and he will say anything just about that you tell him to say. So when we talk on the phone, he gets in the car and Margot tells him to say hi to me. He says hi to me. And so that's why I'm just like, he's just non-conversational. So that's just my thing.
Doesn't have I would say the reason that he's nonverbal is that he doesn't have a lot of non-prompted words. Like I think some of the,
want something.
Right. So he'll say cookie, he'll just cookie and things like that. But
when he says cookie, he wants a cookie.
So yeah.
Like it's not verbal.
So I get what you're saying when you say non-conversational. And it's weird because he can say headphones as clear as day. And when he says wallaby, I'm like, no, Donovan, headphones. And he'll say headphones. And then as I'm turning around, he's like, but wallaby, like I hear what you're saying, but wallaby, yeah. So,
and I don't know what that means to him. I mean, maybe he's saying I need a beat because he loves music. So maybe he's like, I don't know. But when he says it, that's what he means. Janet is asking, does he have is it apraxia, the thing where he has trouble making his body or his mouth do what he wants it to do?
No, I don't. No.
Seem to have that because again, if you ask him to say something, he'll say it, and he has very good control over his body because he can juke you out. Yeah, so no, I don't think he. And if you would know if he had it, they would have said it, but he doesn't appear to have that. Yeah, he has, I guess, maybe minimal dexterity issues, but even that isn't that profound, because he's able to feed himself and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but this has been a good conversation. So I want to jump back before we end and before the time is up to the book. So I have pinned the link to the book to the top. So anybody who has not already checked it out, or is just interested in checking out the book, the Amazon link is there. Right now, it's still only available in the ebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it is still complimentary for just 72 more hours before.
It's gonna, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and then it will be able to be purchased as a hard copy of the book after that. But anybody who wants to take advantage of downloading the ebook, please do that, this weekend before midnight Sunday. And also because, there is no charge for the book at this time. The only thing that we're asking is if you could please just take that extra step to leave a review. And you were telling me something yesterday about the QR code. And you were saying a lot of people weren't taking advantage of that. And I'm not sure if they know exactly where it is, but explain the QR code and what they get when they scan that.
Right. Okay. So when you go to the ebook, I believe on the copyright page, there is a QR code. And if you scan that, it will give you coloring pages of Jaxon. Oh, so like if you have children or, teachers, if you want to go ahead and share it with your class, you can just, like I said, scan that QR code and you can go ahead and have Jaxon in your home to color.
I love that. I love that. Hey, Mama Gina, how are you? I was talking to you one day when I was at Mama Gina's restaurant. I don't know if you remember, but we were having the sweet potato pancakes, and Mama Gina was also an honoree when I was honored just this past February. She was a fellow honoree. Mm-hmm. It was on the first page, right? On the first. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. She was asking. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, I just appreciate all of you guys for showing your interest and, just being able to embrace my sister as a part of this Lifer Tribe. Hopefully we'll be able to see her more often. If you do want to see her more often, though, you can always check the vlogs because I'm either talking about her or she's here or I'm there. But I just wanted to make sure that she was able to share more about it, because I could talk about it all day, but there's nothing like getting the information directly from her. And the last question that I want to ask you is, how do you think Donovan feels about this book? Because I know he's been hearing about the book since day one. So what you think he really feeling about it?
I keep trying to hand it to him and he's like, who is that? I keep trying to give it to him. I'm like, Donovan, this is your book. Like, you would inspire this book. Donovan, Jaxon, and he's just like, who is this? Like, it's just
like, bothered as always.
He's just not interested, and that's just what it is.
And I said, hey, Mama Gina, thank you so much. And Mama Gina downloaded it. She is a huge supporter of the Lifer Tribe. I love Mama Gina to bits and pieces. She is a huge supporter. I said that was the last question, but I do have one more question. I know you talked about more books, but you know me, I'm always thinking bigger, more, grow. There's always something that else we can do. So do you foresee, like, maybe in the future a Jaxon cartoon or maybe some Jaxon merch because I feel like I love the fact that as Black people, we have finally been represented more, and we have the Black Panther is our superhero and just different things where you're seeing us show up more and more. But now this is a whole different group of people when we're talking about people with special needs, in particular autistic people, and even more detailed African-American people with autism. So I just feel like it would be great for special needs kids to have their own superhero in Jaxon, or maybe you bring on a superhero kind of like the Green Hornet that is there for the kids with autism. Like, do you see any of that? Not a commercial, but a cartoon, T-shirts, full.
I do. I have to be honest with you. I really, when you talk about a T-shirt, I really love Jaxon's yellow sweatshirt with the G clef I would love to make that a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really, because I don't know. I just think that is so cute and just so, I don't know. But as far as like a cartoon, anything's possible. Hopefully, that's something that we can do in the future, but I'm just taking it one book at a time. And I just really can't wait to see, the impact that this book has on everyone. And I'm just excited. I'm just really excited.
I definitely believe the sky is the limit. And I keep saying the last question, but I'm constantly thinking while we're talking. Tell them about your logo for your publishing company and your books, the logo that you have, and what the meaning is behind your logo.
The logo is a little boy who is wearing a pair of headphones. Noise canceling headphones have been such a big part of my life. I would say probably for like the last 4 years. It has just been a huge part of my life. Donovan really, it's not going to be a good time for him if he doesn't have his headphones. I think that no lie, I probably spend about close to like $200, $300 a year on headphones. So when I thought of my logo and I decided that I want to start writing children's books, for the most part, for autistic children, there was no other logo for me than a little boy wearing headphones, because that's my inspiration, Donovan.
Yeah, I just thought that was so neat. So I love that, because oftentimes, we see logos and different things for everything, and we really don't know what the meaning behind it is. And sometimes there's not a whole lot of meaning, because maybe it was just something done by marketing that would be eye-catching. But
Thank you, Wallace.
Meaning, yeah, Wallace is proud of you. And Mama Gina is with me. She said you should do it. Just take it. The sky's the limit. The cartoons,
sky's the limit.
All of that stuff. So yeah, well, I definitely appreciate you for being here. It was fun. I mean, even though we talk just about every day, we've never done anything like this on this type of platform. So it was really a lot of fun. And so maybe now on, whenever, we're together and I'm doing stuff like this, you won't mind sitting down and joining me, because we've now, broke the ice. So you're good?
As long as Donovan's good, I'm good.
Okay, good deal. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and engaging and participating and supporting my sister in this very special and monumental endeavor. And anything you want to leave with the people before we say goodnight?
I just want to thank you guys, those of you that have downloaded my book, the ebook, those of you that have taken your time to leave a review. What's wrong?
What about your TikTok? I forgot.
Oh, my TikTok.
Sorry. Yes, she has a TikTok as well. And I definitely would love for y'all to, I know I'm asking a lot, but I will make sure that the support is returned in any way we can. What is your handle on TikTok?
Just Margot Books. Just Margot Books. You typing it in?
What type of things do you talk about on your TikTok? I'm sorry, y'all, but I keep thinking about stuff, and the way her time is set up, I don't know when she'll have the opportunity to be back up. So I just want to make sure that we talk about all the things today. So
what I talk about?
Yeah.
All things Donovan. It's pretty much all things Donovan. Sometimes Donovan makes an appearance. Sometimes Miss Coates makes an appearance. Just all things Donovan, whether it's I'm having a good day with Donovan or we're having not such a great day, I'd like to share. And I have, for the most part, built a little community, which I like to call my little safe space. That we talk about are, the things that we're, doing and planning with our kids. I know I shared with a lot of the mothers on TikTok that I was taking Donovan to the prom, and they were so excited. And a lot of people, and I think one comment said you're taking Donovan to the prom for all of us. Because a lot of our kids, we just never thought that we would, do those things, prom, graduation, and things like that. So it really made me feel good that they felt like, I was doing this for all of us.
And
And I really,
who's Donovan's main person gonna be that he's rolling to the prom with?
Miss Coates.
Miss Coates. And when is
Oh,
the
I
prom?
thought you were thinking it was you. That's why I said it that way.
No. Donovan ain't thinking about me. I got a forced love from Donovan.
I was trying to break it to you gently, like Miss Coates.
Definitely Miss Coates. And when is Donovan's promposal? When are y'all doing that? Or is it a secret? Because if Miss Coates is watching, I don't want her to know when it is.
Well, she knows we're going to do something.
Okay.
Something. We're going to do something.
The whole thing planned. All right. Well, for real, that was the last question. And everybody's saying thank you for sharing with us. Tim said, "Happy Easter, everyone."
Happy
Happy
Easter.
Sunday. Happy Easter. Lisa J said, "Thank you for sharing. Learn more. We'll be downloading and leaving a review."
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means the world to me.
Y'all follow each other as well. Lisa J says she just followed you on TikTok. Lisa J is awesome. I mean, we have never met, and I have become auntie in my mind. Yeah, Lisa J and Lachey, I'm the auntie. Fred said, "From Donovan, love y'all." Hey, Beanie, how are you?
Beanie.
Welcome. And Ravina, I'm sorry. I'm still
Ravina. Okay.
Person, so I don't be knowing if we still into the nicknames, but it's all love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Oh, she said, "Oh, how sweet of her." Yeah, Miss Coates is. She rocks. She loves Donovan down. And she has already, agreed to look after Donovan once all of us is gone. Because Miss Coates, she about 20 years younger than us. And so Miss Coates, along with Nunny Butters, they got our boy. They gonna make sure that he is well taken care of. And that's what I mean. It's that kind of family. And then the friends that become family, you can't beat that. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Thank you. Yeah, oh, good. I'm glad you agreed that I can be auntie, because I sure did make myself auntie. I love you and Lachey and all the hearts. So thank y'all. And especially on a Friday night and what is probably a long weekend for a lot of us, where you could be out there doing absolutely anything, spending time with your family and friends. The fact that y'all took time out to hang with us this evening means more than you would ever know. So I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for supporting my sister. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the link. It's free 99 for just a couple of more days. Just leave that review, and we'll get some updates to see, just how things are going. And whenever we get that movie and that the t-shirts and all that going. Yes,
the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Okay.
All of that. A village is what it takes. Absolutely. I'm good. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, she's Ravina said that her daughter is. I did not know that. Wow. So, and that's, again, it's a small world, but our community is out there. And so,
1 in 36.
Yes. And so getting that support and just being able to identify people who are going through similar stuff, so you can kind of lean on each other, because being friends on Facebook and different things, Facebook isn't the place to be putting all the details of your personal business. So it looks like on Facebook, everything's great and whatever, which is fine. That's what social media is for. But when we're able to create safe spaces like this, okay, Beanie's like, "I'm good, ladies. Y'all can quit saying Ravina," because we saying Beanie, I mean Ravina. Thank you. But yeah, it's just like, and that's my friend, y'all, from way back. I think since like 6th, 7th grade, we have known each other. So since before we were any kind of adult. So thank you so much for allowing me that privilege to still be able to call you our childhood nickname. But yeah, so just being able to identify, people who are going through something similar, where you can feel safe and know, hey, if I am having a bad day, this person understand what I'm going through and whatever. And so, yeah, that support is there. And I know, Margo wouldn't mind hitting her up in the inbox or whatever, because I know your granddaughter is relatively young. Margo been in this autism game now for about 15 years. So.
And it's like my favorite thing to talk about. And for real, like, could you, like, in the beginning, it was like such a, and I explained to people, and they, you know, sometimes don't understand, like, it was a grieving process at first, because you grieve the type of mother that you thought that you were going to be. And it's something that I just really kept quiet. Now it's like, what you want to talk about? You know what I mean? I can't wait to talk about it. So anytime, if you ever.
All the time, even with me and the stuff that I talk about now that I used to not, it's
right.
Like the time when you realize what you went through, you can't keep it to yourself, because you don't want other people to have to go through the same way you went through it. So that's why I'm never going to be a gatekeeper. I'm never going to shy or embarrassed to talk about anything, but it is a process. Like, you know, some people are right out the gate screaming for this, but if you're not, it's okay. But it's just when that day happens and it's almost like this release, like, you know what, I'm ready to talk about it because I know it will benefit somebody else. So thank y'all so much. We done said bye about 9 million times. But it's been, you know, a great conversation. And so it's kind of hard to end, but I promise y'all, I will bring her back. Thank you so much again for your support. And y'all know the drill. I love each and every one of you to bits and pieces. I want you to always be kind and always love one another. But most importantly, never forget to live your life. L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. March Madness. We still got a couple of more days. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Living like a Stae. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first explicitly. You overtook yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dream. Living like a Stae. Hey.